There are days that we get a feeling of sadness looking back at memories. Not necessarily because those moments are gone, but because we remember how happy we were then. And one thing that has helped me heal is grabbing noise canceling headphones to block the world out and let the music take over.
Things will get better. Things will get good. Things will get better. Things will get good.
Appreciate you watching so far already with, the little kind of cinematic sequence that I try to do here in the comfort of my room. I wanted to just kind of showcase mainly how music has helped me out to just feel better whenever I'm feeling down or uncreative or life or anything of that sort, or remembering memories like with my father. Obviously, it's been 2 years now that he's passed, and in like earlier October, it was like his 2-year anniversary. But as well as using music to help me find the good things of anything that comes into play, I guess, if you will. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of make this little bit of a short kind of film at the beginning of this video, because it's just something that hopefully will resonate with you, but the importance of having good music and everything like that. Recently, I've been using audio, which has been for like royalty-free kind of music for my YouTube videos that I've been testing out to see how I like them and just to see what kind of music they had to play the importance of what I believe is a really great thing for your cinematic sequences. Having the correct music helps you out to create the right mood, the right tone, the right feeling of things when it comes down to portraying. It doesn't matter how many, cameras or anything you can, put into it, but it's more about having the right sound that will make everything feel. And obviously having the right, lighting and everything like that was really cool. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of do a little bit of a rundown when it comes down to everything I use. So firstly, of course, I use audio. I don't have a sponsored video with them, but I have been testing them out where they've been wanting to give me a code to provide for you guys if you wanted to check them out, to use them for your copyright-free, kind of like royalty-free music for your YouTube video so you don't get flagged. And they have a really good special. So if you want to go check it down below in the description, you're more than welcome to. You can choose whatever you want to do, but that's what I've been using myself recently more of, and I've been enjoying them so far. But when it comes down to the setup for the gear part of it, because as much as music is important, you want to have the right visuals. So I used my Sony a7 IV paired up with my Sigma 24-70, and I had a little bit of a monitor on it because it helps me see myself a lot better when I'm trying to set up the right angle. That was the main camera that I used for kind of like the main camera for the angle that I wanted. And then I would add other different angles with other cameras just so I could do everything in one go rather than having to shoot it multiple times over and over. I've done a video about it before where I technically use one camera and I repeat the same action over and over, just to have multiple angles. But if I can make my life easier to use the gear that I have available to me, because I know for a fact somebody's gonna say I don't have that many cameras or anything like that, but this is what is available to me because I've worked hard enough to get it. I've actually, used the other cameras that I have to be able to have different angles in one go, so I can piece it a lot better and set up the cameras accordingly. I use my ZV-E1 with the Sony 20-70 f4, and my A7S III with a 35 to 150. I didn't even bother using my A7C Mark II that I'm using currently to film because I didn't really need to do that many different angles in one go, because obviously then the cameras would overlap. So I didn't want to go that far into it, but those were the main cameras that I used for whenever I was doing different angles of, shooting in here in this room. And the reason why I got inspired to also shoot in here and limit myself to a certain degree is to use the natural light that we had from the window over here. The natural light from the window is really great and emphasized so nicely, so I wanted to go ahead and just challenge myself to just use only window light from this corner of the section of my room in the house, and as well use the kind of lights that we have in the background just to kind of do something extra, just to showcase that as much as it is great to have all the lights that I have currently right now to film a little bit smoother, to kind of get that motivated light to come to me right now, that it looks like if it was the window light, I didn't want to have to move it around everywhere, so I wanted to limit myself. But the one thing that really made everything really cool, and it's probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten recently myself, not sponsored, promise, nothing of that sort, it's something that I've purchased with my own money, has been this little fog machine by LUTS. This fog machine has been really cool because, it just, you start kind of pressing the button and then you let it go right there. It adds a little bit of cool little atmosphere, haze to the shot, so that it just makes it a lot more, dare I say it, cinematic, but in reality just a softer image with the light trails and everything, so it just adds a different layering to the feel of the shot. And that's one of the things that I wanted to test out while doing this kind of short film, which was just a very short film. I think it's like 1minute and 40 some seconds that I wanted to kind of create something about the feeling, more about the emotions of it. And this actually helped me portray quite nicely, in my opinion. Getting the different angles of using the shadows and everything, and looking out the window, emphasizing on that window light with this just helped out a lot to make it just look so much nicer that I didn't have to worry about bringing a light. And that's really what I wanted to kind of do this video about. It's just, yes, it's great to have the cameras that I have to be able to use it, but I also want to be able to stay creative and try to create something with limitations when it comes down to maybe using window light, trying to, make something out of like what I have available in my house immediately, where it's not the craziest location, but I'm making it look as much as it could be like if it was from a movie or a, film set or something, where I know personally I have a long ways to go. And I know that it's not going to be like if it was from a legit TV show, because there's so many more layers that they add to them with the, color grading and the atmosphere, kind of the haze, and as well with all the layering of, stuff around it to make it feel more full in the image. But I wanted to go give myself a chance to just do something in my room, and the lighting was just perfect. So it made sense to just go ahead and try that. But it just worked out so nicely with everything. The light would just look so smooth. Using the haze right here, it was really cool because the nice thing about it is I can refill it up instead of having this haze in a can. And if I use my fog machine that I have, it can get too heavy. So with this, it kind of like layers it up a lot more nicely, that I don't have to wait for it to kind of dissipate too fast, because with the fog machine that I have, it tends to do a little bit crazy yellow, so I kind of have to like fan it around to make sure that it doesn't stay too heavy, but then it goes away kind of fast too, depending on how you set it up. So I had this so I could kind of set it up, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, I need a little bit more. So I start kind of, setting it up that way. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start adding more and letting it kind of accumulate a bit, and then make sure that it like gets fanned out, and then I can move it around with me to make sure that I get more from this side, just to add a little bit more dimensions to the shot, since I was going to be limited to a corner of the room to a certain degree, using just this section because of the window light over there. Because as you see right now, it's even nice still with the light, how it's kind of hitting right now, that I can kind of start adding more of the layering with it, so that you start seeing relatively some light trails. Right now it's not as heavy due to right now the sun placement, but you can get an idea of it. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use this right here. I have my obviously key light over here, but as you start seeing, it looks pretty cool. Like, it adds a little bit of a softer look to it, so that when I'm here just kind of contemplating life, it lets you have a little bit of a better light, in my opinion. So this little thing is pretty cool, and it's not that expensive. It was like $80 or so, I think, at the time when I got it, and sometimes they have sales. So if you're looking to add some layering to your cinematography and whatever, check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes onto the scenery of it, and that's the reason why I did it myself this way, because I just thought it looked cool, and I wanted to show the importance of music. So like I said, if you want to check out audio to get some royalty-free music for a lot cheaper than other places with good quality that I've at least used myself and I've been enjoying them, go check in the description down below. You have a code there as well that can give you a bigger discount. So if you want to, get into some YouTube, it's good to start with something that will work within your budget. So hopefully it'll help you out. But that's it when it comes down to the setup that I did. It's something just to show you the behind the scenes, to show you how I use my gear. I've been liking doing this a lot because it helps me stay creative, but it also helps me give you realistic examples how I can use my cameras cohesively together and gear that I actually like to use them in my actual setting, not just to be like, oh, some company send me something. But most of the time, if a company does send me something and I make a video about it, by the way, it's really because I like the product and I enjoyed it, rather than just like I'm getting paid to do it. Because for myself is, if I'm not going to use it myself, I'm not going to talk about it whatsoever. So that's the main thing when it comes down to even this, whether it's my lights or anything of the sort, even like this monitor that eventually I want to make a video about that I bought a while back that I've been using. I made a video lightly about it, but I kind of want to just go ahead and just use the gear that I have and show some storytelling as much as possible, give you some realistic examples to see what you could eventually do yourself. But if you have any questions, please leave them down below. Would love to help you out and see what we can, talk about when it comes down to the gear that I use, or anything about the lighting setups, or basically any, angles or whatever you can think of when it comes down to this video. Appreciate your comments. Love discussing with you guys. And I love just having a conversation about anything that it comes down to what you see in the video. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.